Wait, hold on. Let me finish.
No, let me finish.
Welcome to Let Me Finish, the weekly podcast where we discuss what the hell's going on in pop culture, current events, and everything else in between.
We are your hosts. I'm Janice.
I'm Stacy.
And I'm Jillian. Grab a glass of wine and let's get started. Okay, welcome back everyone to another episode of Let Me Finish, episode 9. I'm your host, Jillian.
And I'm Stacy.
All right, we have one person missing today. Janice is not here with us because she decided to take a quick road trip to New Orleans.
She's out partying.
Yeah, hope she's having fun.
Woo, we miss you, girl.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you want to jump right in and just talk about what we did this week? And we'll start with me. I did my official move.
Yay.
Dun, 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 dun. Moving sucks so bad.
Tell me about
it. I'm like looking at a lot of my stuff. I'm like, do I really need this? I'm contemplating just throwing it in trash because I just don't want to have to move it to this new apartment. But I'm excited though. I think the new apartment, I'm starting to get some ideas as far as decorating and organizing. So I am really excited about really settling in and making it my home.
I'm excited for you, but how convenient that Janice wasn't here to help move.
I know.
Y'all, and then the move, okay, so we moved her from a third floor.
Mm-hmm.
So she moved to a second floor, but man, going up and down them stairs, I don't know how you did it.
Yeah, my thighs are on fire.
Girl, I was
my glutes and my thighs. Thankfully I was doing my Pilates class that really helps, and plus I've lived there for a year, so
I know, like you were just going up and down. I was like dying.
She did have to take a break on the second floor.
I felt sorry for the movers.
I mean, they do that all day.
I know,
every
but
day.
The third, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's kind of tough. Luckily, my second apartment has elevators.
Yeah.
So I think the only thing they actually had to lug up some stairs was my couch because it didn't fit in the elevator. But everything else was pretty good, and there was more guys at the second location, so it was pretty quick.
And it was cold. Oh.
Yes.
Texas has been tripping lately. Last week, I promise, it was like 86.
Yeah.
And then now it's like cold.
And it's supposed to be back up in the 70s this week.
But the day you decide to move, it's just like freezing cold, and it was like misting, and I was like, oh my god.
And when we moved last year to move into this apartment, that was right before we had like a little bit of I actually end up staying home and work from home the next day because there was like a little bit of an ice storm. So I'm just like, because towards the end it actually started flurrying and snowing a little bit. So I'm just like, I knew moving in February is the worst.
It is. I saw something on Instagram and it says Texas weather is like Powerball numbers. It's like 86, 24, 55, 90. 12.
Pretty much
random.
Yeah, but honestly, the weather has been crazy everywhere.
Did you see the thing about California?
Yeah,
I was like, wow.
So they, snowing in Los Angeles, they said they haven't had snow since 1989.
They had a blizzard warning.
Yeah, and then they're dealing with the flooding. That's after California had a really bad drought, and so they're dealing with a lot of forest fires and stuff like that. Yeah. Anytime someone says climate change isn't real, I'm like, look how crazy our weather is right now. Don't tell me that. So yeah. Stacey, what about you? What'd you do interesting?
This week, well, your move was quite interesting for me because that was a lot. And we had a builder meeting this week, and they gave us our official closing date.
Yay!
Technically, it's not closing because we've already closed, but it's the official date that they'll be finished and we can occupy. Right. And March 31st.
Yay.
So fingers crossed, but I wouldn't officially move in until sometime in April because we kind of already extended our lease where we're at. So I'm excited about that, and I'm not looking forward to the move.
I'll be here to help though.
I already told my kids, listen, y'all can start packing stuff and throwing out stuff now. Oh, and me personally, when I move, I pretty much, if I haven't worn it in 3 to 4 months, it's going in the trash, or not the trash. It's getting donated, but you know what I mean.
So you're getting a whole new wardrobe then.
If I haven't worn it in 3 to 4 months, clearly it's not something. I mean, unless it's like a special occasion type item. Because so many people have so much stuff in their closet and they never wear it, and they go in their closet and they're just like, there's all this clothes and they're just like, I don't have anything to wear. There's a reason why you're not wearing it. Get rid of it.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true. I think that's whether you're moving or not. I think that's a good rule of thumb. I heard because sometimes you'll see organizing videos and stuff like that, and they say what you do is anything that's on hangers, you put it in your closet, but have it hang the hangers hang reverse. And once you actually wear the item, you start hanging it the right way.
Okay.
And at the end of the year, anything that you didn't touch, it would still be hanging in that reverse direction. So you haven't worn it in at least a year. Those are the things you get rid of at the end of the year and donate.
Because there's some people, they just hang on to stuff. It's like 5-10 years old and it's still in the closet. You never wear it. Me personally, that's not me.
Yeah.
One thing I do not do is hang on to stuff. I'm always like, it's time to get rid of this. Let's just keep it moving. But not looking forward to that move. And then, so I helped you move yesterday. And then I went out last night to a restaurant called The Bottled Blonde. It's in Frisco. It was nice. Had a cool little vibe to it. And then right next door, there's another little spot called The Parlor. They're owned by the same person. And it has like a DJ over there, and it's like a bar set up. So there's not much seating, but it's a really good vibe. The DJ plays like the 2000s hip hop.
Okay. So
the good music.
Yeah. So people our age.
Yes. Well, there's some younger people in there too, but the music is like for our age.
So like Gen X and millennials.
Right. So, and it's a real cute little vibe. And so that was fun.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So what we're going to do is we actually saw something on TikTok or Instagram, and it was an interview with Michael B. Jordan. If anybody doesn't know, he has a new movie coming out, Creed 3. And they were on the red carpet, I guess, for the premiere for the movie. And there was an interviewer who like, hey, I don't know if you remember me, but we used to go to middle school together. So we go way back. And Michael B. Jordan is like, yeah, when you used to call me corny.
Yeah.
And so she kept it professional in that moment. She's just like, no. I didn't mean it like that. He goes, yeah, you did.
She goes, I didn't call you corny. He was like, I heard you.
Oh.
Yeah. He kept it professional too, but you can still kind of tell that he was like he knew exactly who she was when she goes, we go way back, and she said the name of the school. It was in Newark, and she was like, and he was like, yeah, I'm the corny guy. Remember, y'all call me corny?
Yeah.
And she's like, no. He was like, I heard you.
Yeah.
But
so I guess like Michael B. Jordan at the time, he wasn't going by Michael. It was just Michael Jordan, and I guess they would make fun of him because of that, and also she claimed that he would come in with his headshot, so he was starting his acting.
Yeah.
I know Michael B. Jordan from, I never actually watched The Wire, but I've seen clips from The Wire where he was really young in those videos in the show. So I guess, and The Wire, I guess, takes place in that New Jersey area. So if that's where he's from.
Yeah, the school was in Newark. She said.
So that would seem like that was a good opportunity for him. And I believe he actually was on a soap for a little bit. He actually took over a role that was previously portrayed by Chadwick Boseman, and that's how he knew Chadwick Boseman.
Oh wow, I didn't even know all that.
Yeah, so I guess Chadwick Boseman didn't like the direction the character was going in and decided to leave the soap. I can't remember. I don't know which one it was. I think it was General Hospital. And
Chadwick Boseman was in General Hospital?
I don't know. It's some kind of soap.
Oh, because I remember General Hospital from like way back in the day.
I don't, like I said, I'm guessing on that.
Okay.
And I guess
was like, wow.
Chadwick Boseman suggested Michael B. Jordan take over the character.
If
I'm remembering that story right. But
she kind of said that a lot of kids made fun of him because like he would come to school like dressed like real weird, and he'd have a little headshot, and he's trying to get into acting, and his name was like Michael Jordan, so they would make fun of him, and he was kind of corny or whatever. So I mean, obviously they were kids, so I didn't take much to it. I mean, like, yeah, they may have made fun of him. I could see that happening, but a lot of people on social media were like coming for the interviewer, saying that's why you don't bully people. I wouldn't even call that bullying, but they were like, that's why you don't bully people, and because you never know what they might become. And here you are bragging like, oh, we go way back, and you were one of the ones calling him corny. So trying to defend herself now because she's getting called out, I
Right.
saw where she also came out and said, well, you know, he is corny. I thought corny was good. Like I thought people wanted corny dudes like Russell, Wilson. And
Which
all
I
that.
don't.
Which
Think
I don't
he
know why
is.
they call Russell Wilson corny too.
I think
Because he's a clean cut good guy.
I think when people say someone's corny, I think almost it's the opposite of the bad boy.
Right, but they also make it seem like corny is bad. Like I forgot who he's always coming for Russell Wilson saying that he's corny and stuff, and I'm like, why? Because he's not Future, who has multiple baby mamas, and he's just an overall jerk. She's with Russell Wilson, who's treating her like a queen, taking care of the child that she has with Future, but he's the corny guy.
I mean, I think when people talk about corny, I just feel like they're talking about someone who almost like they're not the stereotype.
They're the good guy, which every woman should want someone that's a good guy.
Because I always hate the good guy, bad guy label, because there's some self-proclaimed good guys. No. They're not good guys. They may come off that way initially, but they are that way to be able to manipulate people and get something and get what they want. They're just not upfront about what they want. So, yeah, when I that's just I think that's just kids being kids.
Yeah,
and clearly, and it shows
took
you.
it.
And I always tell people, when you think you're just joking and having a good time, that moment may be inconsequential to you, and you forget about it the next day. But that person who's getting that,
forgets.
they hold on to that because it hurt them that much.
Because you can tell, like, when it happened, you can see it.
hurt.
He was like, yeah, like you can tell, like he remembered that. I mean, I guess if you're the kid getting made fun of by everyone being called corny, you would never really forget that. But
Right.
kudos to him. Look where he's at now,
Yeah.
right? And I don't see anything wrong with corny guys.
Yeah. I mean, I think sometimes as kids, that's the avenue when you're in school. Yeah, we're all gonna pick on each other. I think as long as you're not corny, whatever.
Yeah.
As long as you're not cruel about what you're doing, and be able to take it as much as you're giving it. I always tell people, I say, if you call him corny, I'm like, well, you're stupid, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, like what they consider bullying now, I was like, that's what we grew up on.
That was
Like,
every day. It was like, ooh.
I got made
We'd
fun
be
of
like,
all
ooh.
the, I always got made fun
Yeah,
of.
you have your back and forth. You have your little, well, your mama's so boom, and well, my mama, well, your mama's this, and we go back and forth
Yeah.
with our little jabs. You don't take it personal. I think sometimes people take it too personal, and that's because they don't have a comeback of their own. And like, if that means you got to go sit in your room and think about this stuff and rehearse them, that's what you have to do. But sometimes you just got to let kids be kids. And clearly, Michael B. Jordan has recovered, and he's just fine.
He's just fine. Yeah.
Michael.
I can't wait to see Creed 3.
I can't either.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, Jonathan Majors is in there with him, which he was actually in the movie we talked about last week, me and Janice, with Ant-Man and the Quantumania.
Really?
Yeah, he was the main protagonist in the movie. So his star is rising fast.
And Michael B. Jordan directed this one too.
He did.
Yes.
Ooh.
They did say that Rocky won't be in this one.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, the first two ones he was sick.
Yeah, but
So
he was
I guess
in it,
I would
but
assume that he would.
He said he didn't like the direction it was going in, so he sat this one out.
well.
So
That's okay. It's time to hand the baton off.
Yeah.
So good luck to Michael B. Jordan. We will definitely be in theaters to watch that. Probably not opening weekend because we have a lot going on that weekend. But we will definitely take that time to go see it. Probably the week after.
yeah, for sure.
Make it a little girls night or something like that. Okay. All right. So we're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back and discuss our main topic. Okay, so this week, what we're going to talk about mainly is going to be Chelsea Handler versus Tucker Carlson. Just to kind of set you guys up, to let you know what happened. Chelsea Handler has been guest hosting on The Daily Show. I believe it was last week. And she had a segment where she did a day in the life of someone who is unmarried and childless. So pretty much she went through the day where she's just having,
It was funny. I remember seeing clips of it.
Yeah. So she's out there living her best life, enjoying her day where she doesn't have to be responsible for anyone.
And I think she woke up and then went back to bed, right?
Woke up, went back to bed.
After doing certain things.
It's her day where she got to just relax. And pretty much someone who I feel that would be her, not her normal day. Because of course she works and she has a social life and everything like that. But she does what she wants. She's not obligated to anyone. And she's enjoying herself. Well, Tucker Carlson then took umbrage with that. I'm like, how dare she be in her 40s, single, childless, and happy? He was offended.
Why would that even bother him, though? This is like...
Okay, so I think this breaks down to the patriarchy.
He was mad at her, but he's mad because she doesn't have any kids and she's bragging about not having kids, right?
Right.
Okay.
Because in Tucker Carlson's mind, how dare you as a woman have any joy that's not directly linked to you being a mother?
Which is crazy.
Yeah. Like, it's almost like he doesn't see, and that's a part of the patriarchy, is they don't see women as individual people. Mm-mm. And so he had a guest on there and he went off on a complete, utter rant talking about we as society has let women believe that they can have it all, be a wife and a mother and be happy. And she just went off on her and saying almost like they're like, she's lying. She can't be happy. There's no way she can be happy.
I know plenty of people that have no kids and are very happy. I know plenty of people that actually have kids and are so unhappy.
Yeah. And I think that's what we're gonna talk about, that as far as what it means to be a mother and linking that to happiness. And I'm 39 right now. I'm about to be 40 this year. And I'm not married. I don't have any children. And I may never. I mean, hopefully in the future, if that means being a stepmom or adopting, or if I'm lucky having my own biological child, is it something that I would want to do? Absolutely. Is it something that I feel like my life will be meaningless if it never happens? Absolutely not. I feel like I like me, and I'm working every day to live the best life I possibly can, and living in my truth.
And I think we have come a long way in this society as women, because I do feel like I'm talking like 20, 30 years ago, right? Mm-hmm. I do feel like women were judged if you didn't have kids. And it's almost like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And there are plenty of women who can't have kids.
Right.
But I feel like back then, it was never, if you could have kids, it's like, you better have kids. Like something is seriously wrong if you don't want to have a child, right? Mm-hmm. And now I think we've come so far from that to where if I don't want to have kids, that's not all I am here for on this planet, is to bear kids.
If I
don't want to have kids, I should not have to have kids, because not everyone's cut out to have kids. So your life you could have an amazing life and everything's great without having kids. Is not the end all be all, right?
Right. And I think people link, and there's many different stages in this. So I feel like that's not an expectation that's put on men, as in if they never become fathers, okay, whatever. Or if they do become fathers and they don't actually do the actual work of fathering, it's like, okay, whatever. But I think at the end of the day, we need to be, like I said, living our own truth, because there's plenty of people out there who become mothers even though deep down they didn't want to be. And I feel like that is even more selfish, because not only are you not living your own authentic life, but also now you're bringing someone innocent into the situation, and they will then pay the emotional price for that decision. It's funny because I feel like, I don't know if it was an interview or a podcast where it was a single person and they're like, oh, I'm happy, whatever. And they're married, friends with kids. And we're like, oh my God, but don't you want to have kids? You'll be so much better. And they're like, okay, describe your perfect day. So these parents were like, oh, I would wake up, I would go have coffee, I would sleep in, I would do this. The entire day had nothing to do with their children. They just were solo or with their partners having the best day ever. And
if they could have their perfect day.
They're describing their perfect day, and their perfect day did not involve their children. They're like, and the single person's like, okay, so you just described your perfect day is my every day. So why again should I have children? And I feel like some people are just meant to be children. And I know it's just seeing what my mom did, seeing Stacy and seeing my other cousins go through. And it is a hard job, but I feel like it shouldn't be your whole life, your whole identity. I feel like sometimes when I see some people and a lot of people on social media, they monetize their parenthood. Their family they monetize through, this is the everyday of being a mom or a dad or whatever. And I feel like they don't have something that is separate, a life separate from their children. So what's going on is what happens. All kids grow up, they become adults, they form their own lives. And then all of a sudden you're older, and because your entire existence revolved around your children, they don't know what to do.
Right. That happens a lot for a lot of women too. I think also I'm a mom and I love being a mom. I can't imagine not having kids. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine my life without kids. I wouldn't say I've always wanted to have kids. I didn't really put much thought into it. I just got pregnant and had a child, but then I was like, it's the best thing that ever happened to me. And I just can't imagine, but that's not for everyone. Right.
Right. So,
and for me, my perfect day may or may not involve my kids, but I'm not one of those moms that my sole existence is like I have a life outside my kids.
Exactly.
And I think as parents, you kind of have to, because trust me, your kids definitely have a whole life
that doesn't involve
outside of you.
Mm-hmm. So, friends or
activities or just, I know I spend so much time driving them back and forth. So
sometimes I'm like, I always look at some parents and they're like, why is it that anytime I see you post anything, it's never solely about what you like to do, what you like to partake in, whether that's maybe a workout class or having a girls' night out, or, if it means sitting down and you like to crochet, whatever, it doesn't really matter to me. But I feel like all their activities, all their free time is dedicated to being a chauffeur for their kids and cheering them on at whatever event, dance, soccer, football, gymnastics, whatever. And I'm just like, okay, so your entire existence is wrapped up in
it's
these
like
kids.
That a lot of times, a lot of moms especially, they lose their self in their kids. And I mean, it's almost like, well, this is what is expected of me now. It's all about my kids now, and you don't really have any time or even make time for yourself. And one day those kids, they do leave, and then you're just like, now what, know? So I don't know. I mean, for me personally, I think when it comes to having kids, it's a personal decision for everyone, and not everyone wants to be a mom, and that's okay. And I don't think kids are meant for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the most famous childless person, Oprah. Right. I always wondered. She's never had her own children.
But maybe she can't. Has she ever actually?
No, she said that.
Said anything about that?
She said that it was something that she never wanted because she felt like her career, she wanted to be 100% focused on that. Now, Gail has 2 kids, and she's like, I felt like I got enough from interacting with Gail's kids that whatever little desire, and actually Oprah did get pregnant when she was a teenager, but I think
she was raped or molested or something.
She ended up getting, I don't know the circumstances of how she got pregnant, but she did end up having a child, and I think the child died fairly quickly after she gave birth, or she had a miscarriage. I think she did have the child, but then the child passed away. So I don't know if maybe that was traumatizing for her, especially since she was a teenager when it happened.
I think she spoke about getting molested as a child. I think I remember
she did. She's talked about that too, but she's been with Stedman for decades.
Never got married.
And they're perfectly happy. I would say, and people's like, well, why did you get married? Why did you have kids? Whatever. It works for them.
That's another thing too. Everyone doesn't have to get married either, because that's another thing people are expecting. oh, you've been with this so-and-so for so long, why aren't you married? Like, that's, marriage is not necessarily for everyone. Look, Oprah and Stedman, she's a billionaire, so I don't blame her for not getting married because...
Even before she was a billionaire, because I think they were together before even the Oprah Winfrey Show became nationally syndicated. That's just what works. And clearly they've had that conversation. It works for them. This is what they're happy with. Legally,
did he have any kids?
I think he did have kids from previous relationships.
Oh,
I want to say yes, but
I don't know.
I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a Stedman.
I was
Is
just
Stedman
wondering.
his last name or his first name?
I think his name is Stedman. Okay. I don't know.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
I don't know if that's his first name or his last name. Oh my God. I just know him
Stedman.
Stedman. I don't know if it's first last name or whatever. I don't know. But
why did I say Stedman Gray? Like Christian Grey.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, so like I said, she's happy. She's created a full, meaningful life for herself when she had the school for girls.
She has tons of kids she just didn't have them biologically. Yeah.
Correct. And so, and like I said, there are plenty of moms out there that they live full, complete lives outside of their children and they're completely happy. And then there are mothers who are completely miserable. And then there are others who truly wanted and just it never happened. And they're sad about that. I just want to say that, whatever circumstances you came to either have children or not have children, I feel like we as people need to have varying interests but I'm trying to say this without being mean, but I feel like sometimes we don't, when we get in relationships, whether it's with another person or other family members or with our children, we kind of lose ourselves a little bit. And I feel like we should put ourselves first.
Right.
We have to be on strong footing I have to put myself on strong footing to be a loving daughter, a loving sister. And that includes Stacey, because even though we're cousins, I consider more like a big sister. But for me to be able to have that full relationship, I have to be good. I have to be good with myself as well.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Because I can't be a good mom or a wife if I'm not
broken.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also important. And I also feel like sometimes everyone's journey is different, right? Like everything isn't meant for everyone.
Right.
So there are people out there who maybe they dreamed of getting married and having kids, but it just didn't work out that way, right? But life goes on. You still have to be happy and live your best life.
Yeah.
It looks different for everyone. I don't ever look at someone and think, oh, why don't they have kids? Like, why? People choose how they want. People choose how they want to live life.
Yeah.
It's 2023. Let's not criticize a woman because she has no children, no kids.
Yeah. And I think also society expects us to do things on a certain timeline.
Right. That's another huge issue.
It means you're married when you're 20s, have kids when you're 30. However that timeline is, some people have the kids first, then get married. Some people get married later in life. Whatever happened, I said, what's for you is for you. And if it happens, that was what was meant to happen. And so I think we just have to, like I said, live complete lives and be open. And
yeah, this is funny, but it's
what?
Like how you said, like some people get married and then have kids. Like my child was in my wedding, so clearly.
Wait, what?
Kylie was in the wedding.
Oh. I'm like, you weren't pregnant when you got married.
No, but she was in our wedding. So
that's right. So but you guys were engaged.
It's considered we did it backwards because then people look down on that too. It's just like, oh, your kids were we got married after we had a child, okay? Like it doesn't have to be like what society says. Oh, you meet someone, you get engaged, you get married, and you buy a house, and then you have kids. Sometimes, like, you have a kid first, and then maybe you break up, get back together, then you get married, or you might marry somebody else. Like, it's just...
But, yeah, if I'm trying to remember the timeline, so you guys did get engaged before you got pregnant with Kylie?
Yes.
Yeah. So you guys were engaged. You were planning on getting married.
How many times did that? We changed our mind, and then, it's not always like cookie cutter, like how people think it looks. But
Yeah.
here we are all these years later. So
Yeah. And it works. You guys are happy.
Yeah.
And, yeah. And I would, yeah, that's the kind of, I want to have a husband like Ernest, because Ernest truly does, especially he has Kylie, but he also stepped in and really helped raise Kiara, which for that I am forever grateful for Ernest, because he really stepped in and truly does love Kiara like he's
truly
she's
does.
our own daughter.
Yes, and they have an amazing relationship.
Yeah, and and not everybody can do that, can step in and take in that role, and he did that with dignity and grace. So for that, I always applaud Ernest. He's a really great guy for doing that.
Amazing husband. Yeah.
So I think the moral to take away from this, Tucker Carlson always has crap takes, but at the end of the day, I feel like we, especially as women, we need to define what we want out of life, and we need to go after what we want, not necessarily what society deems as acceptable or whatever that means. If that means that you want to focus on your career, focus on your career. If that means that you want to be a stay-at-home mom, be a stay-at-home mom. A caveat with that, though, somebody who's worked in banking, even if you're a stay-at-home mom, please secure your own finances, because things can change in a split second. Not saying you can't do that and you can't trust your husband. There are other ways to become financially unstable if you're a stay-at-home mom. So that's my one caveat on that. Just someone who's worked in banking for so long and seen things crumble for many different reasons. But yeah, so if you want to be a stay-at-home mom, be a stay-at-home mom. If however you choose to live your life, as long as you're being authentic with yourself and are truly happy, not necessarily because society says you should be, but because you feel it inside, go for it.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
And Tucker Carlson, he always has something to say. Like, he needs to just shut up.
Yeah. Well, I feel with Tucker Carlson, he's a persona on television, but that's not necessarily how he is in real life. I think he just does it for clout and clickbait and ratings. But at the end of the day, yes.
Because he says some wild things.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
at the end of the day, he's a misogynist and a racist, to be honest. And he will say anything to maintain that status. So, yeah, Tucker Carlson, whatever. He can kick rocks. Chelsea Handler ain't sweating him. She's fine, and she's living her best life. Exactly. All right. Well, we'll get back. We're going to go ahead and end the show, but we'll see you guys next week with Janice here, hopefully.
Yes.
We're having such a busy week next week.
Yeah, we're leaving.
Yeah, we're going to go to, we have to do a quick shout out because we are going to Stacey's brother, who's been in the Army since he was 18 years old, is finally retiring his commission, and they have a big ceremony for him, and so we're gonna all go there and support him in South Carolina while he goes through that. So we're really
fun trip.
Yeah, it should be a really fun trip, a little mini family reunion, and just to really support him and congratulate him and thank him for his service all these years. So,
and I really hope you're listening to the podcast.
Well, we can force him to listen when we get over there. But yeah, so we'll see you guys next week, and Janice will be back. So we'll talk to you again.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the platform you're listening on, and leave us a review.
We want to support local businesses, so if you'd like us to shout out your business, or if you have a topic suggestion, or even questions for our QA section, we want to hear from you. So reach out to us at letmefinish@gmail.com.
You can find us on TikTok and Instagram at Let Me Finish. Don't forget that the E in me is the number 3. You can find me at New Jillian Who Dis on Instagram. Stacy, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Mrs. Cams01. I'm also on TikTok, Mrs. Cams01, MRSKAMS01.
And Janice, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Instagram at Uniquely Janice, and Facebook and TikTok, I'm just Janice Housen.
Okay. See you next week.
See you next week.
See you guys then.